Okay, so I'm going to show you what I've just done with the moped. So for the framework, we're going to go with like a kind of race bike design. So it's going to look really cool once it's done. And we're going to make the paneling out of foam board, which is really cheap, kind of flexible plastic, if you like. So right here, what I've done is there was a little hole in this little bracket here. So I've got an end cap, drilled through it, and got a bolt. So I bolted that end cap to the frame. Then got some 22mm diameter PVC, which goes up here. And it just happens to fit in this little, like, notched out area here. It just happens to fit perfectly into there. If I come around this side, you can see the PVC butts perfectly up to the seat as well. So I've just tightened the zip ties, and you can see there's barely any play. So once I get a zip tie on here, just to cinch that down a bit more, it should be perfect. And the PVC won't cut like exact length, so it's formed a really nice curve, as you can see, which actually I like way better. So yeah, so this curve will be in to help us do our body paneling and all our body work. But that's going to be one of the last things we do probably. And with the body work, that will cover up this part, which is where the batteries and the motor are going to go. So we still need to put floor on this, which I might actually be into just do some plywood. A bit of plywood, and I can bolt it with these holes. So I'll probably do that. So yeah, see. So that's what we've done now. Okay, so over the past week I've been doing quite a lot of things to the moped. So I've added, I don't think you've seen on earlier in the video, I've added this PVC pipe with the curving, and that's going to act as a piece which we can build off for the bodywork. You probably saw me earlier. I was grinding a bit of a screw head off this bottom plate here, and once I did that, I used bolts and drilled holes in my drill press and a piece of plywood, which I cut to the perfect size to fit this little bed right here. So that's bolted on with some machine screws. I'll show you, like that. And the bolts are all the same. Some of them are smaller than others, like thinner, because the holes were kind of random in the bed. So I just had to fit it with the bolts I had. So yeah, that's bolted on there now. That's really secure. Only wobbles a little bit. So this is where I'm planning to put my batteries. I'll probably have one battery here and one battery right on top of it, which should come up to just underneath the frame height, and then I can build like a little support here, like a little cage to keep the batteries in so they won't fall out or anything. And then the motor will sit right on here. So I'm going to get a metal plate. Hold on, I've got one somewhere. Where's it gone? Is it there? Nope, I don't know where it's gone. Oh well. So I'm going to get a metal plate right on here using this little bolt hole, and I'm going to build off the frame, put a little bolt hole flush with that. So I've been to just mount one big plate right to this. Then the plate I'm going to drill holes in for the mount on the motor, and then I'm going to run the motor's a 250 watt 24 volt, that's what I want. And then using I think it's a 6A chain. No, it's a 12A chain, which is a 6mm space. 6mm spacing. I think. Yeah. Which them particular chains are used for mini motors. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a mini motorbike. So that's gonna have a chain like that going off the sprocket on the motor, which is going to go on to a 68 tooth sprocket, I think, which is going to be epoxied and maybe, if we can, get welded onto the front wheel. So we're going to have a massive sprocket. So the bigger sprocket you have, the faster it can go. So the bigger tooth sprocket, the faster it can go, but the faster the batteries will drain up. So, but the smaller sprocket you have, the slower acceleration is. So you've got to kind of judge it in between. So you want a decent acceleration and a decent top speed. So you've got to kind of get in between. So I don't know if the 68 is what we're going to go for, but that's what I found. I think it would work. Depends how much amp we can get the batteries. So that's how that's going to work. And then with the framework, we're going to have a big cover over here, the motor. Going to the back, we're getting a sprocket for this in a few days. So this sprocket is an 18 tooth single speed BMX sprocket. I ordered this from Halfords, and there was a bit of a problem with the delivery, so we had to wait twice as long, and they've actually given me the sprocket for free, so that's quite good. So obviously this plate needs to be epoxied on, because you can see it just spins around, it's not even attached to the wheel. So that's going to be epoxied to the wheel, and then the sprocket itself is going to be epoxied to this plate if it's big enough. If not, I can just take this metal plate out and replace it with a larger circumference one. So then the sprocket will just epoxy and weld straight onto that. And then what I might need to do is make a spacer, so it is align and flush with this sprocket. So the chain will run right aligned to that, and it will just go around one big loop like that when you pedal. So that's what we're getting done pretty soon. So pretty soon we're going to be into pedal this within the next few weeks, hopefully, if everything goes right. Right here on the back where the seat is, I've put a bicycle seat, which I got from a bicycle from recycling centre. I bought it for £8, so it's very cheap old bicycle.